Welcome to Keystone Copycats with Chris and Zach. I, of course, am your host, Zach, and he, of course, is your other host.
Trist Hopperson, Megalodon.
He's here.
Trist Hopperson, Megalodon.
He's a deer. Get used to him killing your trees.
They don't kill them. They just
they kill them.
Ruin the fuck out of them.
They killed killed our apple tree.
That's true. Well, one of our many.
And eventually our peach tree.
They eat tomato trees down to the stub. You're like, man, you couldn't just eat them tomatoes. Had to be greedy.
That's right.
Can I say something?
I wish you would.
I hate deer. I've always hated them.
Too.
I mean, I don't get people. Maybe it's because, we've been around them for so long. People are like, oh, look a deer. Like, especially from Kentucky. They're like, look a deer. Like, is there no deer in Kentucky?
I think it's weirder when it's people from, like, further away and they're, like, visiting for some reason. They're like, oh, there's deer. I'm like, yeah, there's fucking deer. I hate them.
I don't want to do a Louis C.K.
trash
joke,
animals.
But yeah, they're awful. They're fucking terrible beings.
Yeah, I agree.
And if you, I'm just gonna pause there. If you want to hear deer jokes, go listen to Louis C.K.'s whatever special he did, Chewed Up or something.
So this is like really awkward because our next guest is a deer.
I thought it was Louis C.K. I was like, oh shit.
No, it's the deer equivalent to Louis C.K. He like jerks off in front of a bunch of does.
Dosed? Oh,
does.
I thought you meant dosed. I'm like, is that like a special ghost?
I don't know what that. Oh,
that's.
I thought it was like toast.
That's like a ghost named Devin. That dosed.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
lots of names start with D. It didn't have to be Devin.
I haven't said Devin.
Why would you say Devin?
Because I was thinking of people in Kentucky. They're all named Devin.
Do you know anybody named Devin?
I don't.
I don't either.
But he's in there. He's in the John. We can pull him on out.
Well, any Devins out there, if you're a Devin and you're listening to the show, please write in and tell us, like, to fuck off or whatever. Or if you're a deer and you're listening to the show, same thing.
And if you're a double D, a deer named Devin.
Yeah.
You can't
Dear
call in
Devin.
because you can't talk because you're a deer.
Oh,
and
they can
also
talk.
Stop eating our apple trees.
Haven't you ever heard a deer talk before?
I won't listen to them. I think everything they say is bullshit.
I listen to a lot of deer podcasts, so, it's just like the thing I do.
Are they deer-tastic? Right? See what I said?
No, that was bad. You like loaded it up like you were about to say something really funny, and then you said deer-tastic.
As long as you smile and nod, everyone thinks you're fun.
I don't think that's the case.
And funny.
I think you're wrong about that.
Hey, buddy, how you look so good?
Well, I'm a tubbo. That's how. that's what I got.
Oh.
So we recently spent time in Columbus, not together.
Okay.
How's it working out for you? Well, is it beautiful? The beautiful city of Columbus?
I don't really want to talk about Columbus. Can we talk about something else?
That's boring.
I'm already going to change the subject off of you changing the subject.
Neat.
But no, Columbus is fine. It's just fine.
Yeah.
But I'm in the middle of a situation right now.
Okay.
It's not necessarily
It's called my house. You're in my house.
It is. I sent you an item.
Yeah.
And that's not what I'm trying to get at, but I sent you an item and somehow I changed all my addresses for Amazon.
Oh, no, everything is coming to me.
Nope. Because I put in the wrong address on your street.
Oh, Jesus.
So I was wondering why there was all these problems with the Amazon delivery, and it's been delivered to the corner house down there. So I'm like, okay, well, they got some of my stuff, and I got pictures of it. I'm like, that's not my house. So I went down the street just a second ago.
Did you go talk to him?
To claim my material.
Did you go talk to them?
Well, I was alarmed because it looks like no one's living there, but maybe they are.
With the tall grass? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the door is ripped off the hinges and the siding's down. It looks like a mini tornado just went on the porch. Like it walked up the steps and went on the porch and went insane. Like like a phenomena. Like
we're gonna go investigate this when we're done recording.
Like John Travolta phenomena came up and just ruined all their porch. So I knocked on the door to get my shit back.
Yeah.
I was going to be nice at first, and then I saw the porch. I was like, nah, I better be mean. Like that tornado John Travolta was.
Yeah.
So I knocked on the door, and no one came out. So I was like, okay, well, I think someone's home. So I went to the trash cans and kind of stirred them. I was looking to see if they had my Amazon boxes in there, like they opened it.
Yeah, with your name on them.
So I was being real loud with the trash cans because I'm like, okay, now they're going to come out because they're going to think there are raccoons in here, and they're going to come out and be like, hey, get! Like, they're going to see a grown man shaking their trash cans.
I don't know what that voice is.
Go on, get! Like,
okay.
It's Devin.
You're not Old Yeller.
No, it's Devin. Devin comes out. He's from the KY. And he, well, that didn't work. No one came out. So
no.
I did the thing. I just didn't know what to do. I just stood there looking at the house. And I was just thinking, like, from Game of Thrones, when that part when he's like, we'll be back with more men. Like that, when they're looking for The bastard son.
When they're looking for their Amazon packages that were supposed to go to River Run, and they're actually at the Twins.
Yeah, here's the comparison. One of the packages was the chainmail hood. So that's how I tie it in with the Game of Thrones.
Oh, sure.
So they have my chainmail hood, they got a bunch of picture frames, and they got my algae eater. Now, whoever opened these packages together were like,
what fucking weirdo?
They're like, so some dude's going to put on his night outfit and then take a shit ton of pictures and just frame them, give them away. Maybe not. Maybe just hang them all up. Yeah. And then he's going to celebrate by going swimming in the pond, but he's got to clean it first.
No, here's the thing. Okay, it's what you're not seeing is the whole picture here.
What I'm not seeing is my Amazon packages. But
it's a guy in armor. It's a knight.
Yeah.
He's clearing up algae.
Oh, okay.
He's going after Excalibur.
Yeah.
He's going to talk to the lady in the lake.
I get it. What about the frames? He's going to frame the sword.
He's going to take pictures, obviously, to document his travels.
Okay.
Like,
no matter what, you're just showing off.
At Heart, he's a photojournalist.
At Hardee's?
Yeah.
At Hardee's.
Or Carl's Jr. on the West Coast.
Jr., he's a photojournalist after the fact. So, okay, while I'm on the subject, I can't not laugh whenever that part happens in Game of Thrones when he was like, we'll be back with more men. Because I always think, like, that's like a guy who walks in on a gay orgy and it's only two guys and he's like, what's this? There's three of us? I'll be back with more men. Like,
sure.
That's always where my
mind. That guy's like, he's helping the party. He's making it better.
Yeah, he's furious that they didn't do a planner. He's like, man, I have so many contacts. I could have got more men here. I'll be back. Don't worry. We're going to get this situated. Just hang out at the buffet bar and, well, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
We're going to put on a Biden speech, get on back to it. So, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
That's what happened when I got back from Columbus. That's how Columbus is. I was worried about my packages, and I still don't have them. I came here empty-handed and
So, hang on, because you did send a package.
I got locked into
You did send a package to my house.
Front earlier.
But you did send a package to my house that I
Correct.
received.
I caught the mistake. I corrected the mistake, and then somehow it just became a big mistake. And they're like, "Oh, well, okay, this one package we'll send to Zach.
Right.
The rest of them, well, you want to go back to what we were going to do the first time?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't catch any of that. I don't know how that happened." Because it became my main digital address. I'm like, "How does that? Why? Why did you do this to me?" I'm like, "Is it because I got to go talk to your neighbor? Did you want us to be buddies?"
Yeah, lots of buddies around here.
Yeah.
Honestly, that house, the yard has been like overgrown for a very long time.
So that means someone stole my Amazon.
Almost certainly, like off the porch. They sat there long enough and they just took them.
And they got delivered, so all I could do is ask for a refund because I couldn't cancel them. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So what I did was just buy them all again.
Oh, jeez.
So, I was hoping that this would have worked out and I would have reclaimed them. I probably should have brought my sword that I bought through Amazon the first time.
I would let you take Excalibur, but I can't risk you becoming the king of England.
Here's the best part. I did order another sword.
Yeah.
And I canceled that one in time because if I would have showed up with a sword, they would have been like, I don't think so. They would have had the armor on,
they would have had their chainmail.
And then they would have thrown algae eater in my face and I would have been blind.
Yeah, because your eyes are primarily comprised of algae.
No, then they would have been clear. You're not getting this at all. They would have been full of algae. I then would have been able to see. They would have been like the Christ. They would have healed my blindness.
Huh.
I would have showed up with the algae.
I don't know if that's how algae eater works.
That's the story of
technically
God.
Speaking.
That's how it originally went, and then they changed
technically.
it. They changed it because it was real. Works. Like I said, it was convoluted.
So wait, are we gonna go down to the corner and like talk to my neighbor after this? Is that what we're gonna do?
We got to fight through the weeds.
Sure. Well, sure.
And without a sword, I just don't know.
Yeah,
I can't pull yours. You're not the real king.
No, I am. I can wield it. You can't, because you might try to usurp me.
Well,
I can't have that.
I'm trying to.
I can't have
it's gonna
that.
Happen. I'm gonna throw that shit in the lake, and then we'll see.
That's why you got the algae eater.
The algae eater. I reclaim my package.
Wow.
But beyond that, I got locked. Like I said, I got locked in the Russian front today.
Yeah.
And then I escaped, and here we are.
The Russian front.
I was at one of my stops. I had to do Rad's
Oh, sure. You're with Rad.
And my normal contacts weren't there, so I went in, and there was a guy who just kept going. They're all Russian there. They speak very broken English, so he kept going, there's no problem here. There's no problem. He opened me up. They opened the door up, and I got in, and I couldn't get out because there's all these security doors, so they were locked, and there's no one in there. So he just kept going, there's no problem, no problem.
There's no problem.
And I'm
you
like,
live here now.
Here's the thing. There's a problem because I'm locked in here. I can hear him going outside the door. There's no problem. I'm like, I can't get out. Let me out, please. No problem. I didn't know how to talk, so I was going, the problem. He was going, no problem.
He says, no problem. You're incorrect about this.
Like, yes, problem.
You're thinking that you have problem, but in reality, there is no problem. You're like, you speak really well for someone who doesn't understand what I'm saying.
He was picking and choosing what he wanted to say because he let me out, and I went to go back in and said, I'm going to prop the door. He's like, no. Like,
no, you're not problem
you
the
lock
door.
In, it becomes no problem.
You're not problem the door. We have no problem here.
I'm not stereotyping. I'm not making fun of him. He was saying that. No problem. Just go inside. No problem. We will lock you in. No problem.
It's for your safety.
I didn't know how to talk to him. I came outside, and I was like, all right, call your boss. I'm all wrapped up here.
Yeah.
And he's like, yes. No good English, yes.
Yes, problem.
And then he called, and he went really fast Russian, a long time back and forth with this guy who I kept going, I got his number. I'll call him. He speaks better English than you. It's okay. I'll handle this. No problem. I call him. They talk for a long time, and he hangs up, and I go, is everything okay? He goes, thank you. And I'm like, God damn it. That's not what he said. That was a long phone call. He didn't say thank you.
Do you think he had like something else that he needed to talk to him about, and that was what it was, or do you think he's crazy?
He had nothing to do. And I pulled up, and I was like, there's an insanely expensive, nice car out front. It was Tesla something. And then that guy got in and drove away. I'm like, that guy didn't work here.
I think you just met Vladimir Putin. I think that's who you met.
He pulled in. I grabbed him. I said, can you let me in? We know what he said. I got in. And then when I came out, he left. I don't know who that guy was, what he was doing there, but he left with me. He seemed to show up when I got there.
That is glorious leader you're talking about.
Let me in, kind of pretend to drive other minivans around.
I tell you, man, it's no problem.
It's not the problem. No problem.
No problem,
buddy. The irony of this is they called me there to fix the sewer. Like,
they called you to fix the problem?
There was a problem.
You're like, guy, if I'm here, there's a problem.
There was a problem.
There's a reason I'm here.
That guy was a liar. There was a problem in there.
You know? I think we should have him on the show.
Maybe you... Oh, okay, he's the more successful plumber.
First we get a deer.
He was there and trying to lie to me like there's no problem.
I have already taken care of pipe. We don't need you. Because no problem. Hey, buddy. It's no problem.
There's more to it, but I gotta stop. I really gotta stop.
Yeah, buddy, you gotta stop.
What are we doing today?
We got no problem. I don't know what we will do with having no problem.
Morning. The Amazon, I was going through someone's trash like a raccoon trying to get their attention, and then I got locked in.
Look, buddy.
A Russian whatever store that is.
You send all these gifts to House on My Street, and then you say there's some sort of problem? I don't buy it.
I think he lives there.
That's his house. I see a Tesla there all the time.
Someone's paying. I'm in a Truman Show scenario. Someone's just fucking with me all the time. Quick, get in his account. Change the address.
We need to get into the AT&T.
Oh, that's the AT&T scammer.
Yep.
I get it.
Same guy.
He's got to get me through the eye of the needle. He's trying to
stop bringing that up. It doesn't make any sense.
Man, I need a cigarette now.
Oh, boy. Because you're so horny? You need to curtail it?
It won't be a problem.
Oh, boy. All right.
Guess what we did this week? Guess what I did a couple days ago because we're delayed a couple days.
We are on such a weird recording schedule.
We is, Zach.
We're tossing things up, mixing it up, getting weird.
Devin's been fucking with me.
But next week, we're going to have a guest, and it's going to be
tight.
Fun. We're going to have fun.
You know what year we're in today? 92. And what happened in 92? What release?
The Olympics.
Okay. But also, in addition, the Din. The Aladdin.
Aladdin?
Aladdin.
I thought it was the election.
Okay.
I thought Bill Clinton was elected.
Hey, just fucking say we're doing Aladdin, please.
Oh, it's Aladdin from 1992.
Okay, now we're
directed by Ron Clements and John Musker.
Yeah. So, let's just jump to the end. Do you like it?
Come on.
Did you like it?
I fucking love this movie.
Was
It's so good.
They like the Daniel went the din din.
It was a whole new world for me.
Oh, I get it.
Don't you dare close your eyes. It's no problem.
It's no problem. You close eyes.
No, if you close your eyes, it will be problem. Don't you dare be closing the eyes.
To remind you listeners out there.
Let's get a little synopsis.
I do the lore.
Oh, sure.
Zach does the butt lore.
No.
Anything but lore.
No.
Anything but the lore. He does the new eyes on the topic.
Yeah, I take a modern perspective on the film.
You want a synopsis?
Let's do our synopsis.
Okay. I got a special one for you. Okay. He comes from a faraway place where the caravan camels roam, where it's flat and immense and the heat is intense. And then I didn't write the end of it, but
it's barbaric,
something
but
Arabian
hey, it's
Nights.
home.
Something Arabian Night. Take a carpet and fly there. So the lore sucks. I'm gonna try and make it entertaining for you.
Oh, I'm interested.
But it's decently comparable, but just not as the Disney one's way better.
Let me tell you something.
Story.
I have some interesting details.
Okay, I like this. But the original stories, people probably may know, may not know, takes place in China.
It takes place in China?
It comes from China. Get it? See what I'm doing there?
I guess.
So it comes from a city in China, and then the opening starts off, like Aladdin's poor, but he has a mom. And they're poor, so the sorcerer, I would have said Jafar. It just says sorcerer. I'm not sure his name. But he tricks him and go into the Cave of Wonder thing to get the lamp.
Sure.
And then he double crosses him and gets trapped in there. But just like in Little Mermaid, there's a power ring. Or was it Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast? There's a power ring. Somehow Aladdin has a ring on.
That was Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
There was a ring instead of a porno mirror.
Yeah, that's right. So he's got his power ring, gets stuck in the Cave of Wonders, and he rubs his hand together, and guess what comes out? The first genie, because there's two.
There's two genies, yeah.
But this one sucks. I guess he's like, this genie can't do much. He's like the shittier one, so he can change your oil basically.
Dude, I need my oil changed. I want him.
He's like the Uber driver. He just kind of gets them around.
He's like your uncle who can help you out.
Yeah. He rubs his hand, and all of a sudden a genie pops out. He's like, oh, this is great. So wait till he finds out about another genie. So this genie is like, hey man, I'm gonna drive you wherever you want. He's like the driver's slave.
Yeah, so
these genies, let's not lie, they're servants.
No, they're slaves for sure. So in the 80s, HBO made this series of fairy tale kind of live action fairy tale things.
Yeah,
and they did
the one where the Beast was in the sewer telling stories.
No, that was a different show. That was a TV show on ABC.
Got it.
No, this was they did Pinocchio, and Paul Rubens was Pinocchio.
Delicious.
Right. And we had a couple of these that my mom taped off TV for us, and there was one with a genie, and that was the one with the ring. He had the ring that was the genie.
The power ring.
But they didn't call it a power ring.
It was
but there's a ring and there's a lamp.
It's an Uber ring because your Uber driver shows up. It's an Uber ring.
Sure.
Now it makes sense. So he shows up, Cave of Wonders, gets out, and then he has the lamp, and he takes it back to his mom, and she's cleaning it because that's the best. Because
that's what you do.
The best thing in their house. She's gonna sell it or something, and then the real genie pops out, and then you get a similar story where he gets all the stuff. He marries. It's not Jasmine, but it's the princess of Badru-Badar, and we're just going to go ahead and say Jasmine 1.
Sure.
Jasmine 2 is in Disney, so Jasmine 1 just fucks up this whole thing for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gives away the lamp because Jafar, the sorcerer,
vizier,
he finds out that he's got the lamp. So he comes in, and this is the best scam in the world. He goes, hey, we're running a sale right now where we take out your old lamps and we give you the new lamp, and when we haul out that old shitty lamp. And she's like, oh, this is a great deal. This is a fucking great deal. She's rich. Why does she care? She's in a palace and shit. She's the Sultan's daughter. And then
So it takes place in China?
It takes place in China. It comes from China. The China.
So okay, hang on. And this is just from what I believe to be the case.
Just go with your heart, whatever you believe.
So I was under the impression that this story comes from the Arabian Nights, which is a collection of stories.
When I first started looking into it, it did say it's originally a Chinese story. That there's multiple tales of it.
Interesting.
So it just says a Chinese city.
Interesting.
So, but once again, just like any other, there's multiple versions, so depending on which one you tell. So I'm focusing on
the Chinese
the original one. That's because it was more fun.
Because you wanted to say China in like
a lot.
Like the most subtle Trump you could do.
No, it's not subtle. It's not subtle in the least. It's really, I could sing it, but it's just the same thing.
I don't think you could.
You can actually just cut what I said and then just keep repeating it to a rhythm.
Huh.
I don't know how you're going to make that rhythmatic. That's a word. Rhythmatic?
No.
Whatever. It can't. All words are made up. It's fun. So anyway, they're like, old lamps for new lamps. And she's like, what a deal. Like, I hate this old piece of shit.
Oh, I need a new lamp. Fuck.
He takes it. Can I just power through this story?
Yeah, power through.
There's not much to it. So he takes the lamp, and then he just takes all the salt and stuff, and then he just moves it. He doesn't take the palace. He has a new palace built, and he takes all the furniture. So he called, I guess.
Couldn't afford the furniture.
I guess they called the two men in the truck ring.
Yeah.
They rub the two men in the truck ring, and then they show up and they move his stuff.
Yeah.
And then Aladdin is like, well, that was all my stuff. So he calls his shitty genie, and he drives them on over to the new palace, and then he kills Jafar there. And then he's like, well, okay, why I got you guys, the movers here, just moving on back.
Yeah.
So then you're like, okay, well, that's the end of it. Well, guess what? Jafar's got a brother.
Oh, shit.
And he disguises himself as an old woman.
Hi.
And he tricks Jasmine again. He's like, no, hang on. I got to get that lamp. Like, hang on. That old shitty lamp we switched out. Well, we got a new and improved version or something. And then Aladdin's like, what the fuck? So he goes and kills him.
How is everybody so stupid is what I want to know.
And then he becomes the Sultan. That's the end. And you're like, so there wasn't really much drama going on.
Uh-huh.
I love that his brother came in like, hang on, I got a new scam.
Hang on.
I'm going to be a woman and give me that old lamp.
They're going to fall for this. It's like when Bugs Bunny becomes a sexy lady rabbit.
It's just...
Is that right?
It basically is. I don't understand. But that's the summary of what happens there. So the Disney one, let's focus on that.
I don't like what you did.
What do you mean?
I don't like your research.
This is great.
I don't like it.
Listen, you got the lesser genie, the bigger genie, and then you got the movers and
the double genies. Yeah.
Double genies. But I really wanted to talk about the movie.
Can we make a movie called Double Genies?
We are double genies, baby.
Oh, we grant everyone's wishes.
In that movie.
We grant your wishes.
Grant each other's wishes.
Yeah, if you want to see one of us in Columbus, that's a wish we can grant.
I come every week, and then if I wish to see you, I come every week.
So you're granting everyone's wishes
all the time, every week.
So what did you think about the disclaimer at the top of the movie?
Very little.
Did you notice it?
I did. I was wondering if I missed that in the other two.
No, they weren't in there.
I pretty much read the opening, which I heard that's the controversy, is what he says in the beginning. And they did have worse lyrics about being beheaded on the original one.
Yeah.
But I just don't think the stereotyping in this is that bad.
Oh, no, it is. It's very bad.
Which ones?
It's very over the top. All of them. Like almost all the characters. And that
the eccentric point, what, like the fire, like the bedded nails.
Well, no,
guys,
but the two main characters are like tangentially Middle Eastern, but they have like white features. Like,
are they white? They seem pretty tan.
No, they look like tan white people. Like their features are not, like the shape of their faces and facial features are not.
Oh, I mean,
Middle Eastern in any way.
I guess.
And the one character that is evil Jafar.
Are you talking about the facial hair? That's the
No, I'm talking about the shapes of their faces.
I mean, I feel like everything I'm about to say is going to make it worse, so I'm not going to say anything because, I'm not going to touch it. But he's got the hat. Maybe they don't wear the hat. Maybe that cup of hat he's wearing.
The fez.
And then Abu's got the cup of hat too.
Yeah, it's a fez. I did notice that like
underneath it.
I feel like fezes would be very difficult to wear.
To keep on I think it's like a yarmulke. You clip them on. Maybe there's like a clip underneath it.
All right. Well, that's a thing.
Yeah.
But I did. So the disclaimer I thought was I like that they did that instead of trying to like erase it.
Change it, yeah.
And obviously they changed the lyrics to that opening song from the theatrical version to the point that I had never heard the original before. Without the changed lyric.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess people at the time were like, "Whoa, that's a little much."
Yeah, well, yeah, I read them like a couple years ago what the original ones were, and I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, they do behead people in certain places, so
sure,
I get it.
Sure.
But for children, maybe leave it out.
Yeah, like it's not. Yeah, I don't know.
But I will say, jumping to the end where he's like talking about tricking Jasmine into loving him, I'm like, that's pretty gruesome for kids, man. That's scarring right there, and not
Scar
the Lion King kind of scarring, the one where you're born with it.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, I hope so.
Or it's just mean. So I did write down about the stereotype disclaimer.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I liked that they did that because I thought
it just makes I guess it brings your eye to it. I think the whole time you're just like, all right, what am I looking for? Am I trying to find pieces of racism?
I think what it says is like, hey, we recognize that some of this is problematic and we're sorry for that, but it still exists. And I think
that's a great tool that you can just put in front of anything. Then, like this
it can be sure.
This is the whole. Hey, I'm not being a dick, but I'm gonna say a bunch of dick ass shit.
No. It's
a shield.
This is different because it's saying, hey, 30 years ago,
this was okay.
This was something that we thought was okay, and we now realize that maybe it's not. Like
it's like in Crocodile Dundee when he's like,
why?
Oh, what are they? He's like, what are they doing in there? And they're like, oh, they're just doing blow. Remember that in the movie? They left it in the movie for like daytime TV, and you're like, huh? Oh,
and you, as a kid, you're like, I don't know what that means. Like
they're just doing cocaine, not a big thing. That's
fun. Yeah. It's not like Disney did that with like Song of the South, which is like notoriously racist.
It's over the top.
What, Song of the South?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Parts.
Sure. But yeah, it's just that's like overtly racist, and they're like, oh no, we have to bury this. Like this can't be. So I think like that's a scenario where like Song of the South, we can't do that. With this, it's different, and you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciated the disclaimer.
Yeah, I'm not defending it as much as it seems. I'm more like, oh no, what are they? Like I just didn't catch them. But
sure.
Like, once again, I'm not from.
Well, no, but
I'm not from the Mideast. I wouldn't know what this.
I would say that like
I was raised on this movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Is like you've had this your whole life, so this is, your idea.
I'm numb
like,
to it. So.
You're like, oh, is that not right? Are we not? I don't know. And part of it, I guess, is like it's a fictitious land that is just like vaguely Middle East.
Arugula.
Agrabah. Jesus.
I had to order a meal the other day, and I didn't want the arugula, and I was like, no arugula, and I'm like, I don't know how to say it. I don't know how I'm not saying it right. It's arugula, right? Rugula? What is it? It's arugula, right?
No, it's not like that. That's how you say it, which is wrong. Arugula.
Arugula.
No.
I'm saying it. I'm saying what you're fucking saying.
Arugula. Stop saying yeah.
Arugula.
That's how you say it.
I don't hear the fucking difference.
You don't hear the difference between arugula and arugula?
That makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Look at the spelling. It's arugula.
No, it's arugula.
Arugula. Listen.
Do you remember when we were standing in my kitchen and you said arugula and my wife was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I didn't know.
She was so shocked.
That was the first time I found out that I say it different.
Oh, I knew you said it differently, like always, but I just was like, yeah, whatever, that's how he says it. I don't care.
I have to say it because people were like, oh, you are allergic to anything. I'm like, the only thing that I don't really, that doesn't compute with my system, because I'm a robot, is arugula because it tastes like dish soap. I'm one of those people where it tastes like fucking
That's
detergent.
not arugula.
Well, then that happens with me. And I think it's so... This is the Truman Show thing. How come the only thing I can't say, I taste not correct, and everyone's like, that's not the same thing. I'm like, it tastes like fucking wrong. Like, I'm eating it, and I'm like, it's like chemical.
I mean, it's bad. Wrong. I think it's bad.
Something's
I don't like arugula,
it's the only food I can't eat is arugula. And I can't say it. So I can't even warn people. This is like
maybe
when I was
if you
a child.
could say it right, you'd be able to eat it.
I think that's the key. It's like unlocking in a video game.
Yes.
If I can say it, then it tastes great. I don't know. I need the health benefits of that particular
No,
leaf.
you don't. You could just have spinach or whatever, you know?
Well, I would like it. I would like
So
to
the
be
thing that
able
tastes
to
like
eat it
soap-
and say it.
The thing that tastes like soap is cilantro.
It's cleaning.
It's cilantro.
That's good for you.
Okay. But that's the thing
I
that
can
people
say
say
that.
it tastes like soap.
Cilantro. I can say that. Arugula.
Cilantro.
Listen,
Cilantro.
it's not fun to make fun of handicapped people. I'm going to put a disclaimer in the front of this episode.
So-
it says Zach's making fun of people
I
that can't
was
talk.
the idea that you
This
would...
is like when I was a little kid and had a speech impediment, and it said certificates instead of certificates, and no one knew what I was talking about. I was like, it's like McDonald's money, certificates. Like, I was getting so mad.
Yeah, that's funny. Like my son saying pupcake.
Fuck.
That's funny when a kid talks like that. Were you surprised? Like, I mean,
I was, Zach.
knowing like the movie and being like intimately familiar with it, it's still like when you watch it and you think about the time it was made, it's shocking that Aladdin doesn't have a mullet, right?
Oh, you're right.
Everyone had mullets.
Well,
He doesn't.
No. He's poor. He can't afford.
He can't get the
to
haircut.
a
He
mullet.
can't get that fancy
Yeah, like
cut.
because if you notice, when he becomes Prince Ali and has money, his hair is tucked up because he's hiding all of that mullet. He's gonna unroll it. That was his plan. But Jafar jumped in when he makes the intro, and Jafar slams the door. He's so blown away, he didn't have time to take off the big hat, and then mullet rolls
And now he's just
out.
got to wear it
The
forever
mullet rolls out.
because that's how they think of him. So I know. I think
You notice that there's actually a bonus footage at the end where Jafar becomes a snake and he's fighting him, that Aladdin lets the mullet out and they have like a tail fight.
and the mullet fights the snake. Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause the same length.
Yeah, and thickness. Jesus. So over the course of these 3 movies, I've noticed that like the fathers have grown less and less competent. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Triton seems like he's great as the king of the sea, and then like
Ice.
Maurice is like he's an inventor, but he's kind of a
I said
goofball,
it.
and then like the Sultan is like, oh boy, I can't change the law. Wait, I can't. Like,
I told you, plot device. They use these.
Yeah, it's
these
so
dads
funny.
like plot devices. There's really nothing to them. They just draw them. They write them in and drum in as they need to. But you're right. The Sultan is. There's no
He's
way.
a doofus, and I love him,
like,
but
he's
doofus.
so simple-minded. You're like, there's no way. You're distracted by everything. Literally, he's distracted by the ring thing or whatever.
Oh.
Well, I guess he's a sorcerer.
Yeah.
But he's playing with the toys. They make them very simple.
Yeah. So the toys are, I believe,
was a thing. I
it's a
had 'em.
tribute. No, I think the toys, it's a tribute to The Thief of Baghdad, the 1940 film that this takes some inspiration from. That the Sultan in that was like obsessed with toys and had a bunch of toys, like a toy room thing, and that was kind of like
If you
an
think
homage
about
to
it,
that.
royalty, I mean, they probably didn't have much education. They probably were.
And I think they were the only ones who were educated, but I think they
Really?
didn't have worries, so they would just play with toys and do stuff like that.
That makes sense too.
Um,
you do know that the beast is in the tower, right? Everyone knows that, right?
What?
The beast. He's not an animal. Why do they do that to him? He's a man. He's a
Beast?
cursed man on the stack of animals.
He's
That was
11 years
or
old.
21. We don't know.
So
we know one thing: he can't handle a spoon.
no. So I've got an important question for you. Did you ever try to crack a melon over your knee like Aladdin?
Yeah, it just smashes.
I never tried to.
It was misleading. Yeah,
no,
I
he
did.
he was
I did.
so good
I
at
believe
that.
it was the cantaloupe, and it fucking hurts. You can't do it.
I also wondered, like,
It also is like does that.
I also wondered
If it was that soft, it would have smashed on his knee and ruined his only pair of pants.
but what kind of melon is it? Do we know?
It's called It's called the Devin melon.
Stop it! It's not Kentucky.
Adelin.
So I did wonder, like, across these 3
cave?
movies,
A cave of
No, I
thoughts
didn't
in
have
your
a-
head.
I didn't have
It's
a cave of wonders. My skull is a cave of wonders.
That's why you got that one earring like the tiger.
Yeah.
What was he opening up a nightclub in the side? Like, why do you have that one earring, that tiger?
Because it's cool. That's why.
Okay, I mean,
Now look, shut up. It's cool.
fucking, he's made his sand. It was unnecessary.
It was cool.
Why?
It's unnecessary to be cool all of a sudden.
No,
Oh, yeah.
Fucking fez. Why did he have the earring?
Because the fez isn't cool and the earring is.
Did you find him sensual?
Cool?
At least.
Oh.
Something about his mouth looks like you want to touch it.
Stop.
It does.
Stop.
It's so smooth. I thought about that as a child, how smooth that mouth looked. It was maybe it's because
you had a
sand.
sexual
It's
you had a
sand
sexual
'cause
awakening at the Cave of Wonders.
Yeah, I wanted to
A
give
giant sand cat head
gave away
with
all
an earring.
my certificates or whatever I called them.
Certificates.
My McDonald's ones to touch that mouth. Like it was. I think.
Did you have a bunch of McDonald's gift certificates?
It was because they were just coming out with the computer tech, the computer design that it looked like something I'd never seen before, and I'm like,
so that
what is that?
No, that wasn't CG.
They used it for the carpet scene.
No, but not for like the talking Cave of Wonders.
Well, then I don't
that
know.
was like hand drawn.
Maybe it's because it was so fine because of the sand.
Yeah, that's it.
The little known fact is they actually drew that scene in little points like sand to make it so good to enchant children, like a sorcerer, like a Jafar, to get them sexually awakened early, like me.
So did you notice that in all three of these movies, the main character makes like a deal with the villain?
Okay, I was thinking about Beauty and the Beast.
Isn't that interesting?
I mean, what's the deal with oh, you marry him?
Well, but also, so that's like a mislead.
And then
there
the
are
deal
two. There are two where the Beast makes a deal with Maurice, and at that time, the Beast is the perceived villain, and then Gaston tries to make a deal with Belle.
Okay.
So it kind of works. That one's the like thinnest, but like
this goes back to you talking about consequences.
Yeah, consequences.
Children learning things.
Learning consequences. Don't make deals with sea witches or crazy old
Is there
Maurice.
a deal when Pocahontas? Oh no,
I hate Pocahontas.
The next one's Lion King. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, the deal is that he runs away.
He runs away. Scar convinces him that it's his fault and to run away, and he says like,
less of a deal.
don't pay attention to the fact that my name is Scar and I'm clearly a villain.
That's why, and it does bone blow. That's why that these are the big three, Zach. If I can call you that.
My sister recently texted me and said, Scar looks like he does meth. That's what she said.
Oh, yeah. I already handled this with a bone blow. So you call her back and you say, Chris is on it.
I won't.
And then say...
Can't? I won't.
Devins are from Kentucky.
I don't even have a phone. How would I call anyone?
Like
a bird call?
Smoke signals. Do you think that if we didn't get the technology, that we'd still be sending smoke signals? We would just be coming up with ways to turn them into emojis? Like making a middle finger, like send it to the next tribe over. Fuck them.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Like a cookie cutter sheet. Like you hold it over and it comes up.
Yeah, like that.
That'd
work for sure.
Are you humoring me?
Oh. Oh, am I?
God damn it. All right, well, what else? So we got a tiger earring. What else?
So I wonder about, while we're talking about the Cave of Wonders, I wonder, like, I really, like, was thinking about, like, what is the backstory of this? Who created this? Who put the genie there? I want to know, like, where did this thing come from?
This is, like, you know, why people don't believe in evolution. Like, there had to be a creator. And you got to think like this. If sand's left alone over time, it's going to form a talking tiger.
That's the fourth law of thermodynamics.
The waves. The waves did it. They smoothed out all the rocks and talking tiger.
I heard
you gotta add millions of years, Zach.
I heard that there was a scene cut out of Raiders of the Lost Ark where it showed the Cave of Wonders eating that city that they try to get. Or shitting on? Is it shitting on it? Is the Cave of Wonders shitting on the city? I don't know. I don't know.
Here's the thing. If all of a sudden, you know, you could be Aladdin, you can be the diamond in the rough or the non-diamond in the rough guy, Hazim, I think his name was. If all of a sudden just sand turns into a talking tiger and he's like, you gotta be a he does a little riddle like, and then you can enter, I'd be like, I'm not gonna go in that goddamn tiger mouth.
I'd be like, sounds like he's not talking about me.
Let me touch your lips and I'll be good.
No. You mustn't touch his lips. Only the lamb. I can't do a good Cave of Wonders, or I would try.
Yeah,
it's just so deep, and I have like a higher voice.
So, Yeah, that was Hazim's fault for walking in. If someone said, "Are you the diamond in the rough?" I would reply, "No, I know this.
Not me."
You got to be confident as balls to think that you're the diamond in the rough.
You're like, no, I'm the fucking.
I wake up every morning and I turn to my girlfriend and I go, "Just so you know, so we're clear, I am aware I'm not the diamond in the rough."
Yeah.
So don't even fucking open your big mouth.
Yeah, no, she texted me about it and asked, like, is it normal that he keeps saying this? And I was like, yeah, yeah. I get that text most days, too.
Did you write back? He's self-aware. Like the most important thing in
come
life.
on. Come on, babe. That's what I did.
Hey, Sporto, level with me.
Come on.
Give her this, you slip her the hot beef injection.
I don't know what you're doing, but it's
I'm
gross.
doing a Breakfast Club, a little bit of Breakfast Club.
I haven't seen Breakfast Club in a long time.
He screams so loud when he gets high that he shatters a window. That's how strong pot is.
Have you ever done that before?
Pot?
Yeah, do you ever take pot?
I did. I've done my diddle of pot.
I took a fair share of pots.
I've done some pot. I've rambled. I've diddled. I've done some weed. Hey there, Dan. He's a diddling man, and he rambles and he diddles all across the land. Is that it? Did I get it?
No, but it was close. Yours was fine. It was acceptable,
Okay.
but it was not the right song.
Doing a recap of that diddling Dan.
No.
So would you, if you're in the cave and
Yeah.
you're about to escape,
Yeah.
and then Jafar has that crazy knife, don't you want that knife?
Well, yeah,
Fucking
it's cool.
thing's crazy. It's all wiggly like a snake. And wouldn't you just take the stabbing versus getting trapped in the fucking cave? Fuck that. I don't have a power ring to call an Uber driver.
Well, no, but that's just instinct. You're like, no, you like automatically like draw back from it. It's fight or flight.
Flight or fright.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd I say?
Fight
I said
or
flight or fright. That's like a Halloween.
It's a Halloween haunt. Come on down to flight or fright.
If someone goes to stab me, I go, hang on. Have you heard about this fucking Halloween thing where
I
they
pull out a
chase you
knife
around?
and you go.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, what about we just become friends and we go to this thing in October?
Come on down to the wickedly terrifying flight of fright.
You sound like Jafar when you're doing it. Was that intentional?
No, I'm trying to do the Crypt Keeper. That's my best Crypt Keeper.
Is dead on Jafar. Well, so yeah, I mean, but okay, so you're in the cave and you're trapped in there and you don't know about the lamp exchange program that they got going on. So you just got an old
That's not a thing.
You got the old dirty lamp down there. But someone's like, hey, I'll just stab you. You just want me to kill you? Do you still stay alive and just starve to death, or what do you do? I'm assuming that eventually that tiger moth's going to come back because he's going to get bored.
No, it's not going to
Probably
come
not
back.
a lot of people just out in that desert.
So you're saying Jafar gets the lamp.
I'm saying you're trapped in the Cave of Wonders.
I have the lamp.
Do you starve to death or do you just take the stabbing? Like, okay, so Jafar's gone. They just have a knife sticking out? Do you just impale yourself and say, fuck this?
I have the lamp. No.
No, you don't know about the lamp. You just think there's an exchange
Aladdin
program.
doesn't know about the
You
lamp.
just think they're great. An old fucking lamp. Neat.
He accidentally unleashes the genie.
Oh, what am I thinking? You eat the monkey.
This is the movie.
He's got a monkey. You just eat him.
I don't know.
That'll sustain you for a little while.
Probably get COVID from that.
You just break him over your knee, like melon.
No, you wouldn't have to because you're not sharing
you
him.
suck out the sweet innards like spiders do.
You crack his
Why do they
skull?
not eat the whole thing? Why do they like, ugh, bugs? No, the innards.
Well, okay, but do you eat bones? Because bugs have exoskeletons.
All I have to do.
That's their bones.
All I have to do is lie. So yes.
I mean, but I don't believe you.
I want the sweet minerals. The minerals.
Calcium.
I'm definitely not getting them from the arugula. I can't
Stop
eat it.
Stop it.
I gotta get the bone minerals.
I'm gonna. Oh Jesus.
Okay, where are we? Are we in the movie?
We're talking about the movie.
Hey, here's a fucking fact.
So I always liked-
all rats are street rats. Quit saying it. It's redundant.
That's
You
not
don't gotta
true.
say street rat.
There are rats that live in barns. There are rats that live in the woods.
But they would go to the streets.
No, they
They
wouldn't.
take it to the streets, Zach. Well, I guess there
What
are.
are they,
some-
Bruce
I guess-
Springsteen?
I guess there are some that's on the boat, so that's how the plague happened.
They're boat rats.
Yeah, I guess you're right, because their whole life would be on the boat. You're right.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Are you scared of rats?
Well, then they're all plague rats.
Are you
What if
scared
they
of them
did that
now?
song like riff raff street rat? They're like riff raff plague rat. That's where they pointed a plague rat, and then the movie ends because they all
I'll
die.
just kill half of Europe.
Riff raff, plague rat. Like they all die.
I
I'm
don't
sorry, half
want that. If only they'd kill your. Yeah, I like
this
it.
is good. Gold. Let's redo it. The new live action. We'll pretend the other one doesn't exist because God, I wish it hadn't happened.
Did you see that one?
No. Why did they not have Will Smith make it into a rap? Why did they have him sing so flat all the songs?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
what
only
it sounds
saw
like.
the trailer, and I'm like, nope. What are you doing?
Yeah, I didn't watch. I avoided the trailer. So apparently, what I heard is that in over the credits, there is a "Never Had a Friend Like Me" rap version.
Okay.
With like DJ Khaled, and like it's.
Why wasn't Jazzy Jazz? Is he still around?
I don't know. He probably is like crippled from getting thrown out of that house so many times.
Oh! Yeah.
I like Fresh Prince.
That would work. We need to go back and watch some of that.
Do you remember?
Which Vivian did you like? I like the original more.
I like them both, but original, obviously. So, do you remember when we were like in college and like there was a period where like every idea I had like was somehow related to Fresh Prince?
Yes, I do. I remember.
I wanted to make
toes.
I wanted to do the toes. I wanted us to get the characters' faces tattooed on our toes and make like new episodes of Fresh Prince with that. And then I also wanted to do a thing where I would take like a paper doll of Severus Snape, and it would be called the Half-Blood Prince of Bel-air, and I would put that into like clips. That is better. I would put that into clips of the Fresh Prince and rewrite like new episodes and use like Alan Rickman's dialogue from other things. It was going to be the Half-Blood Prince of Bel-air.
The toe thing wouldn't work because you can't hold your toe. You can hold the big toe up exclusively. The rest of them would just always be on.
You black them out. You wear like a black sock.
Whoa! We need a discllaimer for that.
Or like I guess like a green screen sock. But then you just pop the one toe you're using out, and then you key the rest out with like chroma key.
Okay.
I'm not saying we do it, but I think Half-Blood Prince of Bel-air would be fun. I think we should do it.
Well,
it's just a big project, you know?
I mean, and that's where we're going to fail because we don't want to work.
No.
That's the issue.
We just want to bang on this mug.
Are we still in the cave, or do we get out of the cave?
No, we're not going. We don't have to go through the whole movie piece by piece.
Why? I like it. It's fun.
Okay.
So, does Aladdin have the fleas? Because he's like, I'm not worthless, and I don't have fleas. And then he checks his hand, and he's like, oh, shit. So he's got fleas, right?
He might.
And that
I
means
don't know.
that monkey's got fleas. Cause
it might be lice. You don't know.
Oh, that's a good point. So
I got to quit messing with my mic.
Which one is more common, fleas or lice?
I don't know. I have neither.
Wait, do humans get fleas?
Yeah.
Huh.
If their animals have
things you
fleas.
Learn when you're with you, you know.
I'm always with me, so I'm always learning. Really.
God, and you know what I'm always doing every week? I'm coming.
Cranking it.
You make a wish to me. We're granting wishes. I'm coming.
Yep.
And I'm coming back.
Yep. Hard.
I'm thinking I'm back.
Oh, I'm thinking I'm back.
Ugh. If you, sorry, I'm repositioning. So you don't want to talk about a camel going through the eye of the needle anymore.
Never.
So that means you probably don't want to ride a camel. What would you ride if you're going to serenade your new love, Jasmine?
I'd ride my carpet.
Even though you have only met her once. Oh, you just want the carpet.
Yeah, of course.
Well, did he go public with that carpet? Or was it just he gets in to talk to the Sultan and all of a sudden there's the magic carpet flying around? But
here's the thing. Jafar is a sorcerer. He's like a wizard or whatever. So there is magic here.
Why didn't he ride that carpet in?
I don't know.
Way better.
I don't know. Because the genie is because the genie is not impressed by the carpet because he's familiar with him. He doesn't think about how everybody else would react. Like, holy shit, there's magic here.
Wow, you actually put thought into this. That is true. He's just
because familiarity breeds contempt.
Him so much, yeah. Doesn't even notice him anymore. So he's like, let's turn.
He's like, oh, the rug? No, that's just a flying carpet. Like, what do you mean?
Monkey into the biggest elephant in the world.
Yeah.
Who still has the monkey tail, which is the giveaway.
He doesn't have a monkey tail.
Yes,
that's an elephant tail.
No, that is not. As long there's no hair on the end and it's very long.
No, there absolutely is.
When he turns into the elephant and climbs a tree, you watch that footage, baby.
It's not a monkey tail.
Guess what? They drew so many sand dots to lengthen that bad boy. That's a fucking monkey tail. It's just gray. I promise you. Oh, you can
see. I'm looking.
You can take all the time you want to look at this bad boy. But I guess I'll sing the Diddle and Dan song again.
No, you don't know it.
Well, I can try. Yeah, we're taking time to look at this.
I am looking at this.
Tail. We'll just watch it. Just
watch it. I don't have like Disney Plus on my thing. We could keep talking while I'm looking. Like, you don't have to stop talking and point out that I'm looking at it. Wow. That's a monkey tail.
Holy shit.
That's a monkey tail. How did I never notice that?
It's when he climbs the tree that always bothered me. Hated it. So anyway.
Well, I'm going to cut all this.
But
hang on, can you real quick say it's definitely an elephant tail?
It's definitely an elephant's tail.
And punch in there. All right. All right, we're good.
I was
saying that to like our fictional editor later.
Yeah. So he's coming in.
Jizzing in.
Yeah. He's coming in and they're doing the big song like Make Way for Prince. Din din.
Ali. Like, it's not all right, Jafar, who can't remember his name no matter what. Like, Jafar looks like such a dipshit, always calling him that. And like when he's saying it to his face, you're like, oh, he's fucking with him. He's giving him shit.
Fun of him.
No, you think that, but then later when he's talking to Iago, he's like, it's time to say goodbye to Prince Abubu. And you're no, come on.
He's making fun of him because he knows he's fictitious.
No, he's only making fun of him to his face. No, and then he seems like a jackass who doesn't know his name.
Because later he's like, "This is not done yet, boy, who I don't know." Yeah. Like, it does say boy.
And then he only calls him Prince Ali. He never calls him Abubu or Ababwa.
I just realized, because I did take the note, I know what the disclaimer is like pointing out to. In the song, when they're coming in like, "Hey, make way for Prince Abubu."
Stop it.
They go, they're bragging about all the shit he has, and they go, he's got slaves. They slid that fucker in there. That's one of the lyrics that the crowd is saying.
He does say slaves, yeah.
Yeah. I guess, I mean.
But he would.
He's gloating because he's got 75 golden camels and then all the peacocks, and they're like, also slaves. You're like, whoa, like gloating.
But that is a thing that you would say, like.
If you had two genies.
No, if you were.
Slaves.
If you were, It's
like I Got Hoes, that song, that old, is it Ludacris? I got slaves. I got slaves.
They're different area codes?
Well, yeah, because they're all over. That was a big part of history.
Okay.
It's facts.
All right. Why
don't you look that up? Look up the facts, baby.
Maybe I will. So, that was loud.
That was. You know what happens before the elephant climbs that tree? He's got a pile of fucking ruined bananas.
Yeah, he's trying to eat.
No one is helping that poor monkey.
Yeah.
They took away his thumbs, and then they made him try to get the banana.
Yeah.
Why would the elephant want bananas now?
Because he still has a monkey's brain.
Change the taste?
He still has a monkey. Taste factor? He wouldn't know. He couldn't eat one. But he's too stupid to use his trunk, because that's what elephants use. Because it's dexterous.
I'm trying to think if he ever uses his trunk to do anything in this movie.
I don't think so.
I know he uses it like the horn. Maybe that's what you should do.
Yeah.
But man, what a different world this would be.
A whole new world.
If we could make sounds with our noses.
I mean, we can.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, no, I mean, like, if you're, like, getting upset, like, when they come in and they're like when they're attacking a city, like, if you were in a fight with some guy and you guys are honking with your noses, that'd be slick. COVID would be more dominant, but
it'd be much worse.
Yeah. That's why you put the mask on. Maybe we were worried that, we were going to start honking.
Nobody cared who I was before I put the mask on.
And that's how they get you. The government wants you to slowly stop evolving.
So last week I mentioned that Brian had never seen Beauty and the Beast.
What a fool.
He's also never seen Dark Knight Rises.
Well, I mean, okay. I don't want to.
No.
This is
we're in that movie.
Where we harp on Bri. Okay? Ooh. He's a good ally to us. He slept down here once.
He lived here for a week.
There you go. So just lay off, Let him do his thing.
I won't.
God damn it. I wasn't really that upset.
So I did watch half of Dark Knight Rises. I haven't finished it yet.
Tight.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That's super. I'm very happy that you watched half of a movie from 10 years ago.
It's not from 10 years ago. It's from 9 years ago. So fuck you.
This is gonna be confusing because I said this story takes place in China. But the whole New World part,
Yeah. They go all over.
they go to China.
They go to Africa.
Yep.
Or Greece. They go a bunch of different places.
They go to Egypt. Well, I know that's in Africa, but they go to Egypt and then they go to China, and you're like, man, like, so how does the rug get tired?
So at the end, when they're like having the big fight, and Jafar sends him to the ends of the earth, and he's in the snowy destination. I said
flat Earth theory, by the way.
No, shut up.
It does. It does. He says to the end of the earth, and there's a cliff. This movie is propaganda all over the place. All over the place.
Yeah. So I just think, like, even with like a magic carpet, it would take so long to fly back to Agrabah.
And the faster he got, the worse it would get. You're getting pelted.
He got back so fast too.
I think what they did is it was once again.
You think it's a cartoon?
It's a B-roll.
You think it's a cartoon?
Turned around. He took off his hat, and they were protected by his mullet. Like that deflected the wind.
So talking about
wind burnt.
Talking about a whole new world, I think it's really interesting, and like, it's all about perspective, right? It's all about
life is all about perspective, Zach.
I mean, in a way,
in a whole new way.
So it's all about perspective, which I think is like particularly interesting in a movie that is all about class disparity and like the differences between being like the beggar on the street versus the princess, and like how they both long for what they don't have, and like, I don't know, I think it's really interesting to have that song about perspective as like this like beautiful ballad.
Yeah, I mean, it is all about perspective, because Aladdin thinks that by marrying Jasmine, he will be the Sultan. Their firstborn male would be the Sultan.
No, he'd be the Sultan.
You don't marry, like, well, then why wasn't...
It's what the Sultan said.
I know.
You marry her and you'll be the Sultan. That's what he said.
I guess by law that's correct, but like in England, that's not how it worked.
No, it was for a while actually, but for a long time. But so like now, like
I think Aladdin had a big ego up in that hat too.
There was definitely,
the mullet
of course,
but
there was definitely like a long period where monarchs from England would marry royals from other countries in order to solidify these alliances, and like
I guess I never thought about the fact that it goes both ways.
Yeah, there was a point when the King of Spain was married to the Queen of England, and like they ruled both of those countries.
That's what I'm saying.
It's interesting.
I never thought that they would rule both.
Yeah, they ruled both.
Okay,
and then like Mary Queen of Scots was technically, she was the Queen of Scotland, and she married the King of France.
But here's where I defend Jafar. He's absolutely right to question where the fuck he's from, because that could be fake. You could have just found the biggest elephant in the world that has the wrong tail, and so happened to find 75 golden camels, and like that's not enough.
He's got the monkeys.
That's not enough monetary.
Look at those monkeys.
See the monkeys, yeah, but that's not quite enough to make a healthy trade.
So here's the thing, and I've always had an issue with this.
What if here's an idea? What if those camels are hollow gold? They're not that.
Okay, but listen, okay,
those are barely gonna get you the second genie.
This is an issue I've had since I saw this movie for the first time.
Was your sexual awakening?
Aladdin's wish.
I've had trouble since then too.
Was not to have them think he was a prince. It was to be a prince.
Yeah.
And so the like groundwork for that
they had to make a new country for him.
It has to exist, and this has to be where you come from. And so them finding out that he was Aladdin doesn't mean he's not a prince. He doesn't need another wish to become a prince again, because no one wishes that he wasn't.
Here's a new conspiracy theory. Robin Williams' genie is actually the first genie, just pretending to be the super genie because he wants the street cred.
Oh, and Dan Castellaneta
all over the place. He's like,
Return
I
of
can't
Jafar
do
is
anything
the other
unless
genie.
you make a wish, and then he saves them from drowning. He goes against. He doesn't have free will. He can't do that. This guy's fucking up left and right.
Yeah.
So
I don't see how those two things are related.
What do you mean? Like, there's no consistency.
Yeah.
No consistency.
But I
at
think
all.
like
That's what I'm saying. The conspiracy theory
it just
is that's not the real.
it just
powerful
always
genie.
bothered me that at the end of the movie they're like, you can be a
It's
prince again.
It's because
you are a prince.
It's because it's bullshit. He lied. He's a fucking liar.
Like you don't
All
need the
he
big parade.
does-
You just show up and you're a prince.
All he
You
does
can
is
be
drive the
you.
fucking Uber around, baby. Now that takes skill because he changes the oil too, as I said in the opening.
He's an oil changer.
It's a game
Now,
changer.
Have you seen
If
the
you don't change your oil.
Have you seen the sequels? The direct-to-video sequels?
A long time ago.
Return of
I saw
Jafar and
Return of
King of Thieves.
Jafar a couple times, and the King of Thieves I think I saw once.
I've seen King of Thieves a couple times.
King
we
of
had
Things.
Return of Jafar, so I saw it a bunch.
That's the name of our shirt, the King of Things.
King of Things.
Yeah.
Keystone Copycats and the King of Things. Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Here's the King of Things.
Here's the King of Things.
It's me. Because I have Excalibur.
Oh, okay. So you're not King of England, you're King of Things.
I'm both.
Oh,
How dare
you
you?
married the Prince of Things.
I married
Or
the Queen of
Princess.
Things.
No, the Prince. That's fine. We'll
Yeah.
leave it at that. You married the Prince of Things,
Yeah.
and now you rule both kingdoms.
I do.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I
And
do.
Dollars.
I do.
All that dollar.
You
got
do.
slaves. This should not be a song.
Huh. Interesting. So
So bad to sing.
so I what I tried to do. Okay. One thing we haven't talked about yet. One thing we haven't talked about yet that we talked about in both the other movies is songs. What's the best song in the movie? What's your favorite?
I knew that was coming up, and I had never decided.
Yeah.
I gotta
They're
say,
all so good.
I gotta go with One Jump.
That's a great song. It's so energetic and fun.
As much as I love Robin Williams, and he does a great job.
Yeah,
it's
Never
just-
Had
I
a
just-
Friend
I
Like Me.
I like the one. I like it because of the scene itself. How much
Yeah.
humor's going on in the background. But Robin Williams does a stupendous job.
Like they're all so good. Like I love A Whole New World, but I think you're right. I think it is
One Jump.
One Jump.
I'm not sure if that's the name. I think it.
Yeah, I
is.
don't know either. But it's so much fun. It's such a great introductory song. It's high energy. It's great. Yeah, I think that's a great song.
Yeah, I don't need reasons. Go watch the fucking movie. You'll know.
Oh, go watch the movie. It's so good.
We didn't tell him to watch any of these movies. Go back and
Oh,
edit the ones that we already released and say, watch this shit. So, you know what is a sick ass line in this?
What?
Better check your crystal ball again, Jafar. Like,
Yeah, that's
don't you
good.
just want to say that to people
It's
in general?
Steve from Full House.
Yeah. I don't get it, but yeah.
That's him.
Oh, is that him?
Yes.
Oh,
Aladdin is
I
Steve
thought
from
you
Full
meant
House.
Steve from Full House said that. I'm like, oh, tight. Like,
No, the
why?
I mean, technically, yes.
Why did he
but,
say it?
Yeah, the guy who played
No,
Steve,
not-
DJ's
yeah.
boyfriend,
Yeah, that's not the same guy. but
Scott
it's not
Wanger.
Wanger.
Winger.
Scott
Wanger.
Scott Big Wanger.
Yeah.
And when it's
Yeah.
cold out, it's Scott Turtle Wanger. Get it? Glad he liked it. I didn't take a ton of notes. I'm kind of going by memory. On
So
this.
Jafar
But
makes a lot
the
of really bad puns. Did you notice that?
Why does he have to move the palace?
I don't know.
onto
It's
that
weird.
Unachievable rock? It made me think like he puts it on top of that rock, but it's very unsteady.
Yeah.
Notice the genie's really fucking. He's a shitty genie. He's just kind of cramming.
He's like,
it
all
on
right,
top of
I'll
the mountain.
put it up here, I
But
guess.
It made me think of no, who's the real life Dracula? Count.
Vlad the Impaler?
Yeah, the Impaler. Thank you. Like, yeah, how his castle was impenetrable because it was on top of the mountain, so like armies couldn't get up.
I mean,
to
maybe
it.
that's why then.
Yeah.
Maybe Jafar's a vampire. Did you ever think of that?
Ooh.
Never seen him in the same place as a bat.
I mean, here's how he's a vampire. Wait, no, that's not how he's a vampire. I was gonna say because he's a snake and he sucks the blood, but that's a spider.
Yeah.
And he's not a spider. He's a snake.
No, he's more of a snake that
He
sucks
actually
the
he's
dick.
the anti-vampire because he shoots venom out of his teeth. He doesn't suck the blood in; he shoots it out.
That's right. That's
Anti-vampire.
correct.
This is news.
So he's like
And
Blade,
that's the
kind of.
news. Okay.
I don't
Oh,
know.
'cause
I
he's
haven't seen
anti-vampire.
Blade in a long time.
Yeah.
So I tried to find like through lines, like for all three movies, and try to find some like connective tissue
Did it work out?
thematically. Yeah, I found a couple. So I feel like they're all three are about empowering someone who is like lesser, subverting the status quo, and like very like strongly independent protagonists.
Mm-hmm.
So Aladdin is the one that we see the least of the like independent protagonist, but that role,
everybody.
I was gonna say, but that role goes to Jasmine. She's the independent one because she wants to break free of the structure of the royalty and like that whole, that whole thing with her is like she's trying to get out of the palace and have more freedom and make her own choices and control her own life, know?
Yeah, because she's not a prize to be won.
Exactly, yeah. She doesn't want to be objectified by these men who are trying to like make all these decisions for her life. Mm-hmm. And something that I noticed like after watching these 3 movies, like it kind of helps me to understand where some of like my values have come from. Like I always knew that I ingested a lot of popular culture growing up, but it wasn't until I like revisited some of it with a more critical eye that I realized what an impact it had on me and like probably many others, like there's so much that like comes from these movies. And like I mentioned like a few years ago, like I kind of thought like, was Sesame Street secretly like
teach you about diversity?
Well, communist propaganda or socialist propaganda. And like looking at it, it's like, yeah, I kind of get that. Like, I kind of think it is in like a good way that it teaches children about these things that like, I don't know, fierce capitalism sort of pushes back against,
Yeah, I didn't learn anything from TV. My parents loved me, so they taught me stuff, but
I don't know about that.
Just fuck with you.
You're a big dum-dum.
No, looking back, I remember being a child and watching the princesses and being very attracted to them. Like,
for sure.
That's what I learned. I would like laugh at the funny parts, and I just liked watching them.
And then you love the beautiful princesses.
I loved them because they were attractive, and I didn't. That's how my parents didn't teach me. Was they were Catholics, they didn't teach me anything about sexuality. So yes, I would secretly watch these movies and not understand what was happening.
Yeah,
so,
and
I'm glad you took life lessons. I became a pervert.
Well, no, I think it was like unintentional. Like I carried this stuff with me that was just like I thought was just like ingrained stuff. But like looking back on some of this media with a critical eye is like really showing me like, oh, that maybe that's where I got this from.
You're most likely right. I as you were talking, I was thinking, I'm like, no, I said it's very obvious what they're doing. I was like, oh, it's obvious because I grew up watching them. So
exactly, exactly. Well, and I think like a whole generation of feminists comes out of this type of story. It's like the strong, independent women who like show you don't have to be a damsel in distress.
You know what's interesting, and I probably should have brought this up last week.
Ooh, bring it up now.
That I didn't, this week. Like, Gaston's always been my favorite villain, and I said I liked Gaston because he's the only one
so real
who doesn't really do anything wrong, and it's only till like now, last 5 or 10 years that you're like, oh no, that's 100%
he's fucking awful.
Wrong. So it's very interesting how even in the last 10 years that has transitioned too, because you're like identify like, no, the other ones are trying to do harm to everyone, and then you're like, no, he's a psychological terrorist.
Yeah, they're this like cartoony, monstrous evil, and he's like the insidious, banal evil of like cultural like misogyny. Like it's that shit that's like, oh no, he's trying to like trap her and turn her into this thing that she's not and like steal her independence,
Yeah, and I don't know, I mean, it says something about me why I assume like that was the only one to me that wasn't really a bad guy, but
well, because we didn't see it that way. It's like that was the culture and that was the world that we lived in. Yeah, we would see, and like in other stuff, it was like, oh no, this is how it is.
Because he's strong, he's good looking, he's the provider. Of course, you should marry that man.
Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's not about how he's going about it.
It's not about like what a great prospect Gaston is. It's about he's not right for Belle. She doesn't want that, and so it's fine.
Yeah, I asked you last week if he would be a good husband, and I kind of wasn't thinking. It was an off the cuff question, and you're like, no, of course not. I was like, oh, that's right. I was like thinking like he might be an okay dad.
No, he's a piece of shit.
Like
to Sons, maybe
he would be a shitty husband.
He might be an okay dad to Sons.
Like if they did get married, yeah, it would go pretty raw and
like
awful because she would be a 1950s housewife.
And like genetically, like look at her dad. If Gaston's son took after his grandfather, Gaston would lose his fucking mind.
Would be a brilliant inventor.
Just this short, stubby, smart nerd. Like, because he wouldn't be interested in that. He wouldn't care about being brilliant. He would only want him to be strapping boys like me. You know, that's what he wants, is that physicality and that, like, ability to physically dominate people.
Okay, well, if you're in the wilderness, you got a smart guy, and then you got a really strong, strapping young man. Which
like
one
me.
do you pick to guide you? Now, I know which one I'm going to go with.
The smart guy?
Because I want to
Because he probably has a map?
Yeah, because I want to eat some eggs, and Gaston's going to eat all the fucking eggs.
He's
not
gonna
save
eat
it.
the eggs. You're like, all right, we brought 5 dozen eggs, so we should be good for this month-long journey. And then he's like, ate my breakfast.
He gobbles them down.
And you're like, where'd all the eggs go? And Gaston's like, you didn't bring more for my breakfast tomorrow? And you're like, God damn it, Gaston.
You do a good
Come
Gaston.
on.
You do a good Gaston. So the end. Let's go back to Aladdin.
Yeah.
The ending of this movie. Obviously, it all works out for him. Aladdin gets a shittier outfit. Why didn't he just take his prince outfit back? That was cool.
No, I like the end outfit better.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what it looked like, but I remember
it's like sleeveless and open in the middle,
it
and
makes
like
more sense.
Purple. There's like purple and yellow to it.
More sense, like exposure-wise, for the climate, I suppose. But I think it's really cold in the desert. So
I think the yellow. I think
where Jasmine's outfit makes sense, because she's got that skinny top, but she's got the big insulated pants for night.
Yeah, but he has those big pants too. Cotton. So, but
camel.
But I think he has the purple as like it's a nod at like royalty, because he's marrying the princess. So I think that's kind of like symbolic too.
Do you think this was the long con? Or he actually just wanted to be in charge because they knew the Sultan was fucking everything up?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
I think he like has the big game where he's gonna push those squash melons out there. Like he had an idea to get these, melons to market.
Yeah.
That's why he's always stealing those apples, because he's trying to, steal from his competitors.
Oh, sure.
So they go broke. And he's gonna
so their fruit stand is trash.
Yeah. So he comes in, marries.
You figured it out.
Melons. Squash monkeys.
Talking about her boobs or melons?
Jasmine. I mean, there's something there. There's something there to him.
So
I've looked at her a lot. If you didn't catch,
did you ever watch the cartoon show?
Of course I did.
Yeah, same.
What kind of stupid ass question.
Did you ever play the video game?
I did not play the Lion King one.
My aunt had it on Sega, and we would go to her house sometimes, and I would play it, and it was hard, but it was fun. It was like a side scroller.
Hard but fun. Those are the best kind.
Yeah, exactly.
That's in life, though. That's a life lesson.
Hard but fun, like a penis is what you're saying.
Like you can have so much fun with a plywood board. Hard and fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got the money to spend on lumber these days,
you can stand on it. You can put it over your head. It's a house. Everything.
You could lean it up against something and use it like a little ramp.
You mean a lean-to?
Yeah. Also a lean. Yes.
Two.
Yes, a lean also.
A lean-to.
A lean as well.
You protect your melons. You go to the Sultan, marry his daughter. Oh, you got instant business right there.
Wow. The little known fact, my wife, I married her because her father is the Sultan.
I'm going to marry my girlfriend because her dad has a lot of lumber.
I thought it was just out of habit now.
Zing. Yeah, I can't go. I got to go 3 years in a row. I can't miss a year.
Look, that would be impressive.
I don't want to miss a thing.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about.
We'll talk about an old movie.
Let me tell you something, and this is going to drive our listeners
drop
crazy.
One on me, Zach.
You have made 2 references in this show that are directly related to next week's episode, and you don't even know it, and they don't know it, but I'm going to tell you after we stop recording.
I like it.
Right?
This is great.
Pretty good. This feels like we did a show.
I'm sorry I'm sighing at you.
Right?
Let's go ahead and wrap.
You want to wrap this bad boy up?
Yeah.
Put her to bed?
Yep.
Well, I think we should do that also.
Tanks and guns.
Tanks and guns. Oh, thank you, everybody, for listening to us this week. We appreciate it as always. We'll tell you what we're going to do next week on the mini episode with our guest co-host, Ben, who's having a good time. None of those episodes have released yet, so I can't ask you what you think of them. But we'll be on. We'll let you know what we're doing next week on Monday. Tell your friends about us. Well, that's not the right button. Why'd you push the wrong button?
Use my monkey tail.
Oh,
my elephant tail.
It was your elephant monkey tail. Tell your friends about us and your enemies, and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you like what we do, you can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us online at KeystoneCopycats.com, We're at Keystone Copycats on Instagram and Facebook, and at Keystone Copycat on Twitter. If you've got something to say, you can email us at keystonecopycats@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 513-239-7682. Don't forget to check out Sinclarity, A Dinosaur's Tale every Friday at dinosaurspodcast.com. And until next time, I'm going to be Zach, and he'll be who?
Twix.
Twix, Left Twix. We'll see you next week.